I can't believe how many people are out here to see the sunrise. I mean, really. So many people. How great is this? These are real nature lovers out here. It's like at least 50 people walking down to the shore to see the sunrise. It's pretty special. Makes me feel good. Hey guys. All these pebbles down here. Morning. A lot of people down here for what they love about nature.
Really?
That's what I'm doing.
It's a long list.
Yeah, long list, huh? Well, right in the most present moment, I would say what? Color, bigness?
Color would have to be a part of it, sure, yeah. Color would certainly be part of it. Beauty.
Beauty. The big B.
Yeah.
Beyond beauty. It's beauty, beauty.
Absolutely.
What time did you get here?
Probably an hour ago.
Hour ago. So it was black. It was pitch dark.
My goal was to photograph the moon, actually.
Okay.
The moon was a great setting, you know? The bay side.
Right.
To get the moon.
On the fishing piers?
Yeah, but the problem is the other side of the bay was all lit up. So just a string of human lights across the other side of the bay. And, you know, seeing the moon set among those was just not going to, you know,
grab it.
yeah, it just wasn't going to do it. So
It's got that pilgrimage vibe, right?
the young lady down there doing yoga. You got all kinds of different things going on here. You got this couple over here on like a little
blankie.
Like enjoy it in different ways.
That's it. All right, man.
Hey, good luck to you. I hope you get your
Peace. Thank you.
hope you get your info.
No, you were great. I appreciate it.
uhlWonder.
That's it. uhlWonder.
uhlWonder. All right, thanks.
Peace.
Have a good one.
You too, man. Howdy. You're in the right place, right?
At the right time.
Right place, right time. Yeah, I'm doing this project asking people what they love about nature. And I figure this is a good place to come to ask.
There is nothing not to love.
I love it. You did a hand motion. Thank you. Friggin' homage, man. Anything come to mind?
Like the simplicity.
The simplicity. Yeah, it's very complex and seemingly very simple. Calming. Is that what time did you guys get down here? A little while ago? So you timed it for 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you to miss the peak. When it peaks out, right?
Yeah. 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes? Do you feel like your relationship has been growing over the years?
Yeah, probably as you get older, you appreciate it more.
There you go. Yeah, it's because we take it for granted, right? We're born right into it.
Appreciate it all. Like just like staring at it.
Yeah, staring at it. All right, oh baby. That's power, huh? Wow. This is my favorite sunrise. I appreciate your time, guys. I really do. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, you too. Wow. There you go, baby. Striper? What time did you get out here? 6? Was there anybody else out here at 6? Incredible. It's really unbelievable. I noticed. You ever fish out at Montauk?
No, Not yet. That's one of my goals.
And there's a guy out there in his kayak telling me all these stories. When he catches something 30 pounds, it drags him around out there.
A lot of fun.
Amazing. All right, man, thanks a lot.
No problem. Have a good day.
Too. There's at least 100 people here.
What's the first thing that brings me here?
Yeah.
The sun, the calmness. It's like peaceful here. It is everywhere. You just have to learn to appreciate it.
Relationship with nature's been growing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I come out here, yeah. Do you feel that way?
I do, yeah. The environmental focus is on saving the earth, which is a great idea. But to me, like the first step is to like sustain our relationship with it and really try to reconnect as deeply as we can so that our lives have this richness in it, because this is it.
I agree.
You agree, yeah. So tell me some of the things you love about water.
About the ocean?
Water in general, like fluidity of it. So it's motion, its ability to change state. That's fluidity. So it goes gas, solid, liquid.
Free flowing.
Free flowing.
Doesn't have a set form. You know, always changing.
Yeah, even as ice, man. Ice is always, I love ice. Like in a stream or in a waterfall, like an icicle. You know, you think solid, right? It's not changing.
But it's moving.
Constantly changing. You know, and it might not be changing at the pace you're willing to sit there in the freeze to watch, but that doesn't matter because it literally is, you know.
Right.
Have you been in like a hot tub, a cold tub, that kind of thing?
I wish I could go in the water over here, but I don't think I would with all the people fishing in the water right now.
Go in this temperature?
I think, yeah. You know Wim Hof?
Yeah, Wim's the man.
Yeah, so I feel like all good stuff.
I can't believe the struggles he went through with his wife and everything, and then finding solace in ice cold water.
Right. I mean, I guess whatever works, right?
A friend of mine's father always used to take cold showers. And he, like, you know, he was in his 90s. Saving him was his ice cold showers. I'm like, okay. So you know, you gotta be mentally tough to do it.
The cold showers?
Yeah.
I do cold showers.
Yeah, I do them too. But you know, even though I know what I'm getting myself into, you know, you're not always, well, maybe everyone's mind.
For it?
Yeah, or ready to say, I'm gonna go in the cold shower.
Cold shower.
Have you ever been in a cold tank?
No, but I would.
So I've gone from like a hot tub in this place, like a spa had it, into a cold tank. So those things, so it shocks your body, tightens everything up, you know, and it's like with Willem, it taps into that deep wisdom that we have. And when I came out of that, I swear to you, man, I felt like 20 years younger.
Really?
It was a youth thing. Yeah, because I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. So water for me is like saunas and steam when you're sweating, hot and cold water. You ever sit in a stream and let the water just run by you? That's amazing.
Would, but there's where am I going to find a clean stream?
Clean stream. The closest clean stream. Well, there's some on Long Island. When I kayaked, I saw some and I'd be in them. You'd be surprised. The water quality is improved, like in my life. And now people are kayaking in the Hudson. So what's your take on squirrels?
On squirrels?
Yeah.
Well, I actually just saw a cool picture of a squirrel the other day. I don't know if it's true, but they said like every time a squirrel like jumps off of something and it lands like in a superhero pose. I don't know if that's true.
It does. It's like, I got it. Yeah. I've watched enough squirrels that actually, right, because they're ready to see like what's
happening. A white squirrel.
White squirrel, albino squirrel. And then I saw a black one with a gold belly. They're the happiest. They love this climate change thing, right? Way less rough on them, you know? So you love squirrels. Do you focus in on them and watch their act?
I do when they get close. You know, I think that they're really cute.
They're adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great, tight families.
But I feel like I only see one at a time.
Yeah, well,
You know, they don't really run around together.
well, in my gardens they do.
They do.
I actually make like, I'm not gonna say railways, but they turn them into railways, like arbors. So they're red cedar posts, and they go long ways also. So they're running along that because they can get to see where they're going, and they're up there doing all sorts of stuff, you know. You know, another really great place to go is Jamaica Wildlife Reserve off of the Bell Parkway.
Oh,
Yeah, there's all these pockets of places that are just, you know, deep nature within the city limit.
Right. I'll have to go there.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it? Jamaica?
Jamaica Bay Refuge. And like, so there's a bunch of guys and women down there with their big cameras taking pictures of the birds. And if you ask them to see what they've taken recently, that's all they want to show you, you know?
Right.
So golden eagles, bald eagles, owls, ospreys, the whole list, because it's the flyby. So you're a honeymaker right now, because you're sharing your love of nature to create like a buzz, and that's what all these people have been doing with me. And then the hive makers are the people that are going to build this project wherever the queen bee decides it's going to be.
Like investors?
So the queen bee would be like resources in all directions, like loving nature as much as anybody we would talk to, really wanting to do it from the heart because this is super important, and then document the build, and to tell people that they don't need money to have, like on my Jeep Wrangler dashboard, I have like driftwood, some, you know, like everywhere I go, I pick up like a rock. Like I have one in here.
Yeah, this show.
Yeah, right? So these things are always in my pocket. And so it would like create jobs wherever the queen bee wanted it to be. He or she would, you know, because I would go anywhere in the country or the world basically to do this and plan it for them, and find some media outlet that would want to promote it.
Best of luck.
Best of luck. Thank you very much. Peace.
Namaste.
Namaste. So you notice you catch a really big fish. What kind of fish was that?
Like that.
And you just catch and releasing?
Well, that's too small.
That was too small? Looked like it was...
It's gotta be between 28 and...
Wow, that was close, right? What was that? Oh, that's weird. From back there, it looked like it was like this big. Well, that means they're out there. I can't believe how many people are out here. This is pretty amazing. Did you come often?
I usually go out on a boat, but...
Freeport?
Yeah.
I've been going to state parks, asking people if they'd like to share what they love about nature. I've been going to places like this, from the Adirondacks to Montauk, all throughout the state.
Cool.
Oh, look at you, dude. Come on, baby. You lost him. Maybe it was the last one, you made him smarter. That was exciting. I remember when I did my fishing days, it would be very exciting to get that rod to bend, yeah? And that's all lures, right? Yeah. Looks like a fish. Some of the things you love about nature are?
Now.
Just being outdoors.
Just being outdoors.
Being in the fresh air.
Yeah.
No walls. Yeah, that's interesting. No walls, no ceiling. It's open.
Nice blue ceiling.
Sorry?
Nice blue ceiling.
Yeah, nice blue ceiling. Very good. Yeah. That's right. Really, who needs cathedral ceilings when you have this one? The big dome. Oh, that's great. Yeah, big blue ceiling. Come on, baby. Too small, huh? So beautiful. Look at you. Yeah, man. You're going back in. It's all good. So beautiful. My God.
Nice fish.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh, yeah, you got him now. Nice work. Man, there's a lot of meat on that fish. Would you say there's been a rebound in the population since like 10, 20 years ago?
It's early to tell, but the last 2 years been a great striped bass run.
Okay, that's
Last 2
good.
years.
It's amazing how it rebounds, boy.
Yeah.
You hear these stories where fisheries are completely decimated and like they do the right thing and it comes back.
Yep.
It's great. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about nature. It's resilience. All right, man, have a great day.
Take care, bud.
Thanks for sharing, brother. Ask questions like what's your take on squirrels, things like that.
When I think of nature, I think of the beach because I live near here.
Just what I think about when I think about
Well, what do you love about it?
it. Sense of like home. That's what I love.
And that's a good feeling, man. Yeah, that is a pretty universal feeling, which is great. Would you say your relationship with nature's been improving your whole life, or it's been pretty much just one way, all just one big embrace?
Maybe as I get older, I appreciate it more. But I grew up in Colorado in the mountains, so I've always kind of loved it.
I think what we've been finding out, it's like it's an ability to love. You can learn to love. So when you're born in, you know, the Rocky Mountains, you're learning, you know, just by being in it, like learning English, you know, or whatever language you're born into. Are there different activities that you do in nature, like using binoculars to see things?
For us, it's like we do so many activities in nature too.
So you're doing an extreme sport and you're aware that you're in nature, and that just makes it fantastic. That's great, because it's so frenetic. You would think like, what could you be thinking about? But yeah, you're aware of this, being surrounded by it. All right, I appreciate your sharing. Whoa, just got a flyby. Oh, you rock doves slash pigeons. You guys are really handsome, you know that. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Kututu. Kututu. Those green necks you have, iridescent. It's the lifeguard station. And I got here this morning around 5:30 for the sunrise, and this place was packed.
Really?
It was lined up with fishermen, people doing yoga, hanging out on blankets, here for the sunrise. It popped up like over there. Yeah, I'm gonna spend the whole day here today because obviously everyone out here is loving nature.
Oh, yeah.
So what comes to mind when you think about what you love about nature?
The beauty of it.
The beauty.
Just watching the serenity of the water, you know.
Yeah, you guys got a nice spot right there.
Too cold.
Serenity of the water, not too cold. You're bundled up properly.
Just the beauty of it. The calmness, the peacefulness.
Peacefulness, calmness. Do you feel like your relationship with nature has been growing throughout your life?
I always been at home. Chance we get, we like to get our coffee and just watch the birds and the squirrels, and we love it.
Well, you just answered my next question. I always ask everyone what their take on squirrels are.
I love them.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
I think they're awesome.
it's great. They are awesome.
Watching 2 of them just run in circles yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They're playing
Our neighbor isn't happy with that.
with squirrels or
Squirrels and birds.
too many birds. I love it.
And to,
That's the person I actually want to talk to.
But the house is surrounded by trees. We feed them what, on the weekend? We shouldn't be feeding them. That they're not happy.
Who's not happy? Oh, they're not happy that you're feeding them because...
Well, they say that the birds shit on the fence and everything like that.
Yes, it's stupid stuff.
Yeah, because bird shitting is like a thing, and it's important that they do, because they plant stuff with that. I mean, that's the kind of conversation I really want to have with somebody, but I'll have that through you, actually.
Yeah, no, they're very nasty about it.
So it's interesting because, yeah, and like, the rain washes that away.
Yeah.
I've had neighbors tell me that too many trees on my property and the leaves are like dirty, and I'm like, yeah, it's dirt. It turns into dirt, and that's what, feeds you.
We enjoy it. We had a hummingbird, so we got a hummingbird.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All different kinds.
All different kinds.
You have a hummingbird feeder?
Yeah.
Yeah, that brings them in. Certain time of year, right? What?
Yeah, I think it was last month or September.
Yeah, I think there's 2 times when they come through.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one. That was the first one we ever saw.
And you happen to be outside long enough to see it.
And growing up, my grandparents, my nana always took care of the squirrels and the birds.
There you go. So that's who taught you. Yeah, so it's a learned thing, right? Love is like an ability that you can get, better at. So your grandmother taught you, my grandmother taught me.
Me and my brother are very into it.
Yeah.
We're into rescuing too. Like the man across the street had a trap out. We pulled up one day, and I see a squirrel in it. I was so I'm crying.
You're blowing my mind. Yeah, I didn't know that happened.
Well,
I was upset. I was crying.
I think he was trapping him because his house is kind of like that stucco look. So the front of the house is like foam with the stucco over it.
Yeah.
And I think what the squirrels actually were doing was they were climbing up the foam.
Yeah.
On the stucco.
Grabbing
It
in.
was probably knocking chunks out of it.
But he had it in the trap. I was ready to go over there. It was I felt like it was for hours, but I wasn't.
He
I wasn't
took it
happy.
somewhere. He didn't just kill it right there. He actually put the trap in his truck and took it somewhere. Whether he let it go somewhere else.
Yeah, hopefully.
That drives me crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. That's an amazing story that he went that far to try to solve something that's not solvable.
No, because another squirrel's gonna come and do it.
You're try Mars. You'll be better off with that.
We had a huge tree in front of our house that housed at any time 25. They would tear my whole lawn, burying the acorns.
Oh, right.
And this guy wanted me to take that tree down in the worst way, lifting up my sidewalk, so I had to take it down.
Oh, other reasons. Yeah.
But the squirrels were obviously displaced to other trees, or
Oh, it's so sad.
you got to think of it. They got to go somewhere. It's not
Right.
like they just disappear with the tree.
Did they evolve the tail to be adorable so that we wouldn't be, because it was a pointy tail, a lot more of us wouldn't be digging the squirrels.
Yeah.
Well, it would look more like a rat.
A rat, a possum.
They're cute.
Right, so rats and opossums have to lay low,
Yeah.
right? They're laying low. They're out at night and not because of that pointy tail.
If you really look at a squirrel and a rat, there are a lot of similarities.
Right, they're in the rodent family. Right, and like chipmunks too, but
Yeah.
chipmunks are pretty adorable.
They are adorable.
But then possums too. I mean,
We have a possum.
Yeah, we have a possum.
Possums are beneficial. They get rid of a lot of unwanted rodents, but they're so ugly that people are afraid of them, and
It's that tail.
Yeah.
It's inborn in our brains, the Black Plague and rats, and they spread it if they did or didn't. That was what that was the fear that was baked in. It's funny when you said the squirrels are ripping up the lawn. There's 2 stories that brings up talking to people. One was the guy said they would pull up all the bulbs in my yard, and because I didn't want to not like the squirrels, but it felt like, they were taking my work away. And I complained to my wife. My wife just said to me, get more bulbs.
Yeah, really.
That was a great story. He goes, now I can still love squirrels. I'm like, awesome, man. And the other thing is, I'm a landscape artist. I create gardens that are wilderness gardens.
Oh, wow.
So we'll pull up the lawn and put in white pine trees and get pine beds going as fast, forest floors going. So where I live, I'll give you this information later, but it's all pine forest for 25 years now. And the squirrels, what they do when they do their dig here, it's gorgeous because they put their little, their little noses and they make circles in the pine needles everywhere when they're either burying or looking for their food.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And so they're doing their thing in nature, it looks gorgeous. And they're doing their thing in the manicured garden, it doesn't look so good. Or the stucco wall is a great example. I swear to God, I would have never thought of that one on my own.
yeah, I mean, to watch it climb up it, I mean, it just went right up.
Because I got the grip.
You would see it just climb right up, just like it would be climb up a tree,
It's great. It's like a bark, right, that stucco. This is great meeting people like you guys, It's making me emotional. It's so spontaneous.
Just with my cats and dog, as I get older, I like them better than people.
Yeah.
They really help me so much.
Absolutely.
I had a major loss in my life, and that's all that healed me.
That helped. Yeah. Yeah, man. We got a lot of pain we got to deal with here. All of us. Pretty much. I mean, I don't know how oblivious you can be to miss it all. Probably not. But yeah, so the nature connection, people with this, like the silver lining of the COVID thing, like people slowing down a little bit, that helps. My wife just sent me an article in the Times because I'm like totally into hermits, like learning about hermits and the hermitage. I got a book in the car about hermits in the garden. There's a hermit in my garden. When you look at the site, I also inviting people to see my garden and sit in the back and talk about nature. It's 25 years old, and when we were digging the hole, because the garden was planned before we bought the house, everyone's like, you must be building the biggest deep indoor pool ever, you know? And no, we're doing this wilderness garden.
That is awesome.
So yeah, so it's like an 11-foot logjam waterfall from grade down to where the basement is. And the basement wall is cut out so you get proper light. The back of the house faces south. So then from the first peoples back in the day, 25 years ago, would come from the neighborhood. Word got out, and then someone hired me to do something for them in the Mid-Hudson Valley. It was a 4-year project.
Whoa.
And I kept improving on the wilderness side of the game and tapping into people's connection with that. So when they come to the house, you know, it's a fun thing to watch. You walk from my neighborhoods in suburbia to wilderness.
Oh, wow.
It's nutty, yeah. So I joined the Civic Association, and over like a 10-year period, we did community plantings where we planted like over 100 trees, putting in wells so the water was maintained, new benches, gazebo, the whole bit. All this stuff happened. There's like a plaque there about it. That day-to-day maintenance is day-to-day, or at least once or twice a week, just picking up, and it would look wonderful. So, I mean, how you perceived it as really need and help, it's always going to look, you know, kind of like that.
Everybody.
But if you look past, you know, this floating around, it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. No, we go there a lot.
Oh, well, the Parks Department, that's Nassau County Parks, you know, Public Works to get the pump in to keep the water level. So it's kind of hard from a community level to keep it going. If there's anyone doing it now from the community level.
They had the creek there, and then, you know, we actually used to fish in the creek. You'd get killies or whatever.
Dude, you're like, when my parents moved in at 69, we moved in on the creek. So one of the things, the floatables, we got Public Works to build a litter catch basin right north of the pond. It's there. It's this concrete thing where it's supposedly the flow comes this way, catches the floatables before it goes downstream and ends up behind an island park. You know, that's where it goes, into the here. So that's one of the good things. But that creek, man, back in the day, that was like fox and trout. That was a legit freshwater creek. Fully involved with my civic association, Cornell Cooperative. We were putting backyard habitats in all the schools from Cornell, like bird boxes. Kids open the bird box and see baby chicken. They are definite loving nature for the rest of their lives. We had a little ladder, and they would go up and go. It was really cool. Yeah, we did a lot of cool stuff. So, but the cool thing about the birds, I know I'm jumping, the waterfall rock is a big rock, and when birds come and bathe on that rock as the water is falling, that's the most amazing thing. I mean, watching them eat is one thing, but this is really intimate. Like, they all have a way of bathing. There's a thing called the water commissioner, and we figured you'd be interested because it's to do with nature and water. And I'm like, West Hempstead is a water commissioner? He goes, you ready for your mind to get blown? I'm like, sure. He goes, there are 6 water commissioners. So it's like this kind of scandal of local government. So I ran in 2000 and won by 6 votes and was water commissioner for 3 years.
Wow.
And that was amazing. So I learned all about the aquifers and what's in the water, or the creek, or the runoff, where the storm drains. I've been doing this for a while, and this is my favorite part so far.
Oh, wow. Good.
Yeah, this is incredible.
But I can't wait to look it up. That's great.
I have driftwood on my dashboard that gives me that feeling. You know, a little piece of driftwood, because that's all we need is reminders of this stuff. Smooth stone, and you have it in your pocket and you touch it. So that thing is a stone, you know, from the stardust that got from the mountains, got eroded to this, you know. And all you have to do is think about the process of that nature, and that's pretty healing.
Yeah. We bought bird feeders.
Yeah, the feeders will bring them in, man.
Yeah. We have houses.
You have houses?
Yeah, we have 2 houses. They just took down a lot of trees. So we had nests everywhere. It's terrible. They took down about 5 trees around on the next block.
Oh man, I know. I've mourned that since we moved in. It's called the Oaks where we moved into West Hempstead, and since we're there, you know, half of it's gone, and people aren't putting those back up.
No.
And you know, the street trees are fine, but they're not these massives. You know, and it's fear, right? After every Sandy, you know, people freak out after the next storm. And so in front of my house, speaking of Sandy, the house. The oak tree that took the power down in our neighborhood for 11 days, I scoped it out and talked to the homeowner and said, like, can I get a piece of this when they start cutting it up? Sure, you know. So I dragged behind my Jeep, you know, really nice hunks back to the house and carved them out in homage to Sandy, because hopefully this is the one we'll get more in touch with nature. And I know other trees are going to come down, but that was like such an important thing to remember for me.
We here have been around long enough to know that, you know, 4 seasons do not exist anymore.
No.
We're losing this winter season.
Oh, the winter. When I was growing up, I remember the winters. You couldn't even walk in the season.
It's getting squeezed into summer and freak storms.
Right. Well, you get all that pressure in the hot weather, you know. So.
I mean, there is good things on the horizon for slowing it down so we don't get the full uninhabitable planet. So the last thing on this project, right, there's a lot of things out there that try to, for sustainability of the planet, save the earth, which is a great idea. This project is more about saving our connection, our sustainability, because if we don't truly get deeper into the enjoyment and the love of it, we're not really living. You know, it's not a rich life. You know, the richness is in what we're talking about. You know, and having money and having a little extra this and that, great. But if you have all the money in the world and you're not doing what you guys are doing right now, you just don't have it.
Absolutely.
No, you're right.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
It's really the bottom line.
Say are the best.
Just being quiet and being under a tree anywhere, or in the city looking up at the sky. I could be in the city and be right in the middle of nature. You know, and if you're aware, you can, and we all can.
On Long Island, are actually, we take for granted the fact that we live on an island, so we can actually drive to this. You know, somebody in Nebraska does not have the access.
That's true. Are you familiar? It's called the New York Bight. So this is Long Island sticking out, and this is the east coast of U.S. Tides come up rich with nutrients, moving at a certain speed, but when they hit Long Island, the corner here, the Verrazano Bridge, is called the Bight. And it would used to deposit a lot of nutrients there, and the oysters there were the greatest oysters anywhere, like better than anywhere. Massachusetts, they were monsters, and that's why, you know, that was the big bed. And when those got all shucked and depleted, those were like landfill. That stuff is fill. There was so much shell life.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, right? When you visualize, you could see what that means, you know? And another thing that helps me visualize, so 50,000 generations of us, the first 50,000 generations were in nature. We were directly in connection. In the last 500 generations, we've been on farm. So the farm has been doing all the feeding. So 500 versus 50,000, I mean, we know why it's so built into us to have to be here. You know, you would not be out here if you didn't have to be out here.
No.
People give you a hard time.
Yeah, they don't want you feeding the ducks, and you know, people abuse that.
Yeah.
You know, but on a Sunday when I was a kid, you'd take all your stale bread and you'd go down there and you'd feed the ducks.
I mean, you get there's naturalists that'll say you shouldn't be feeding them because of all these reasons, and feeding them bread might be the best diet. I mean, there's lots of different things you can feed them. My argument with them always was, I get the science on what you're saying, yeah. You know, nature's been so adjusted, rearranged by us at this point. If this is the only connection people have with nature, and you want that out, you think big picture-wise that's good for nature?
No.
I mean, that's something we need to talk about. So this is like the big picture. Thinking about your neighbor, the angry neighbor, right? Feeling like the deeper you can really love nature, I think your ability to love anything else is also connected directly. If you hate nature, you can't love yourself, your family,
Say all the time.
or your friends.
What kind of a person are you?
You can't, it's sad.
Yeah.
A sad person.
Yeah.
You know, I've always found like the more I love nature, like I kept bees at this guy's property with the idea of not taking the honey, just letting them max out the box so they'll swarm and make more feral hives. I'm telling you, man, I never did that before in my life. That was, you know, first time I did that. At the end of the workday, I would lay down flat on my back. Never wear black, by the way. Black, they don't like black because that reminds them of their black bear friends that suck their honey. So you wear white, anything unblack, and you lay underneath, and they'll literally fly over your head into the hole and never go near you. So you could sit there and watch. It's like being a JFK. And and there's a certain time in August when they have a full supply and you could smell the honey in the air. You're like, this is too amazing. These little pockets, like I used to kayak on Hempstead Lake all the time. And I'm like, I can't be on any lake and see more wildlife in the Adirondacks because wildlife up there have all these choices. And when they see somebody like me, they're less likely to come.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm seeing ospreys diving into Hempstead Lake, catching, coming out. The come out is the most amazing thing. They'll come out, catch their fish, come up, and then the talons like have a lock. So once they lock on, it doesn't release. They don't have to put any energy into that. They fly up around 6 feet, shake water out, and then they come back down again. And then they keep the guy on your hat. That's an osprey, right? They keep doing that until they get enough water out of their feathers that they can fly back to the nest. And it's an amazing thing to see.
That's cool.
Yeah, Hempstead Lake.
Well, that's another park that people don't realize.
Hempstead Lake.
You know, it's right in our backyard.
You know, that park, I've had like one of my greatest accomplishments and my greatest failure as an activist. Greatest accomplishment was I got 9 different religious leaders back in the day from right across the board, the Arabs, Jews, Christians, to come to the park and tell what their scripture says about saving the earth because it's God's, planet and everything. That was amazing. The failure, I wanted them to put a little kayak rack down there with a camera so you can kayak on Hempstead Lake, up in a boat, up and down and whatnot. Couldn't get it done. All these years, made a major effort.
Yeah.
I'm saying the name of this place is Hempstead Lake State Park, the only lake in Nassau County, but, I'll sign something no risk,
Yeah, sure.
and put it in there. It like every other lake in the state. I don't know. Don't ask me why that couldn't get done because it's an inspiring place to be, like all year round.
Yeah, my son goes there and just takes pictures. He said you got a good bird population in there.
And that was when I was water commissioner. That thing dried up. Do you remember that?
I remember that. I was telling him that.
That was the years I was there, and that was because the dam leaks, and you got to fix the dam. Just throw a piece of plywood on the front end of the dam. So you said bluebird before. So the bluebird is the state bird, and they are gorgeous. It's like blue jays, but the powder blue of a bluebird. You see them upstate, like when you'll get lucky. It's the most beautiful blue you've ever seen. That was Picasso's favorite thing to paint. Wrapped up pigeons. This morning I went down there and hung out with a bunch of them. Well, guys.
It was very nice to meet you.
You guys are the bomb. You guys made me feel really good.
See you around the neighborhood.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Keep doing what you do.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. Happy holidays.
Peace. Yeah, same. Be well. I'm gonna move over. I'm on the white line over here.
Oh, okay.
It's me. Oh my God. Unbelievable. What are we doing? We're aiming for someone. More people. This is going to be a tough one. It looks like a family. That's a separate person. These guys are going off in that direction. I'm not cold. It's 40, must be at least 30. Wind chill. If I had it, why would anyone be out here? There's still a lot of people. They're here for the sunset, right? rising there, the setting here. These are the only two. It's definitely a dream scenario. Excuse me, would you like to share what you love about nature? Peace, thank you. It's not gonna be easy. It's that time of day, man. I get it. It is setting. Look at that thing go. Just say peace and thank you and you walk by. Maybe this guy? Whoa, look at that moon coming. I got a moon. It's a big moon. Just not feeling it. It's too cold. It's the end of the day. And just a lot of people out here. Where are all those people? The parking lot is full. Look how pretty. This could be an interesting crew. These guys know I'm hunting. I think they know I'm hunting. Yeah, I think I'm hunting. Makes it a lot harder to hunt. Yeah, these guys are out in the surf. I ain't going out there, obviously. Who wants to talk to me at sunset? Nobody. There's the beach. Good, man. Getting your moon?
I think so.
Is it getting bigger as it goes up? Does it look bigger, I mean?
It's a little bigger, and then it gets more white and brighter and fun. But it's good because it's some daylight at the same time.
Yeah. It's still got sun up.
Sunlight, yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, I was here at sunrise. I'm here all day.
Oh yeah, all day?
Yeah, I'm doing this project where I'm asking people in parks if they like to share what they love about nature. When I got here this morning at 5:45, place was packed.
Really?
100 people lined along here. Fishermen, you know, nature worshipers, all kind of folk. At dark. 5:30.
No, it was gonna be like that?
No, I was surprised. I thought I'd come up here, I want to do these interviews, and I get a couple of people enjoying the sunrise.
How'd the sunrise?
It was beautiful. It like lifted out right over there. It's been a good day here. So what's the first thing you think about when I say, what do you love about nature?
About nature? The fresh air,
Yeah.
the brightness, you know, like
Full light,
the full light.
full spectrum of color light, yeah.
I think people are at a good disposition. You know, they're not uptight,
Right? Humans are more humane in nature,
they're more humane.
right?
Also, the calming effect of the water
The sound.
when you're out where there's water.
Yeah, and you're obviously into the aesthetics of the color, the planetary objects right now.
Yes. One day I was out, I had just missed
Hello.
a plane passing through.
Oh, right, yeah. So would you say your relationship with nature's been growing throughout your life?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's definitely been growing. You get older, I think you appreciate different things, right?
Yeah, man. That's part of that wisdom thing, right?
Right.
Hopefully.
Well, were they pulling stuff in?
Yeah, just they want to be out here, you know? It's not about if they catch a fish, they catch a fish. But they're saying like it's another couple of weeks is all they got left, if that, and it gets too cold. I guess for the fish, I don't know.
How they appreciate nature now with the fact that
Yeah.
it's COVID environment?
I think it's a silver lining I've been seeing. I've been doing this now. I've been to 19 parks throughout the state in the last 3 months. Every park is a little busier than it ever was before. During the summer, they were like overrun because people needed to get out of the house during the summer. But I feel it is a silver lining. People are definitely, a bunch of people told me they just bought binoculars for the first time. So so they can get a good close view.
We're spending a little more time looking at birds in the backyard.
Yeah, there you go. It's great.
I'm in Brooklyn. A couple of cardinals that have camped out back here.
Very good.
And so, just watching their bright color and
That's awesome.
how they interact with one another, and you know, pretty cool.
All right.
You know,
So you're being aware of looking and you're finding them. That's awesome.
yeah, I mean, the cool thing is they're right out there in the back. I mean, they're just flopping around.
And you're not feeding, they're just coming in.
Neighbors
feeding,
yeah.
and then they come and eat on the branches.
They eat.
So you have tree branches in your backyard?
Funny thing. My neighbor had this tree.
Right.
The tree was becoming a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it's this toss-up, man. Like, you don't want to live in a place where there are no trees, but that's what these arborists or people that can give you advice on, like, well, yeah, this tree needs to be either pruned or removed because it's not well, or, you know.
That's 100% what it was.
And they do borings, and you can tell, yeah, if it's not a well tree, it's dangerous. Yeah, this is the fear of nature, right? Like, I like to get into that conversation where, you know, you can look at the fear of nature from so many different perspectives, as in, like, we not really have the fear of, like, lions and wolves anymore, right? So, and when we did, we were way more in touch with nature because we had our eyes wide open, right? So now it's things like that, tree limbs, you know, mosquitoes maybe. Man, that's getting really vivid out there.
Yeah, nice.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad I came. I was gonna come tomorrow.
It's supposed to rain all day, I think.
So you know, well, you're out here, Nate. You know.
Yeah, I know what's going
I
on.
was like, it's like 99% today. I was like,
No, today is a key day to be here, bro. So here's a question I ask everyone. What's your take on squirrels?
they're just happy-go-lucky.
Happy-go-lucky. What a great way to describe squirrels.
They just run. I mean, they just constantly just run. It's amazing.
Right. Acrobats. How you doing, man? Here's the man that keeps the park proper.
Yeah, that's what we get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there you go.
I was thanking these guys this morning at sunrise they were out here. And now it's sunset and you're out here. That's twice a day. Yeah, that's a lot of busy out here today, seeing all that. Yeah.
That's my friend doing it too.
Yeah, I know. That's the other side of the nature story right there. The one-use stuff. Use it once and give it a chuck.
As a country, getting a little bit better with that.
A little bit better in certain areas, yeah.
You know, a little better.
I mean, this project, there's so many projects about trying to sustain the earth, which is, you know, a really good idea, obviously. This project I'm working on is more about sustaining yourself through, like, loving nature and getting the most out of the magical event that this is. You know, it's like sustaining ourselves through enjoying it more.
Yeah, I think if people had a chance to get a little bit more in touch.
Yeah.
A little bit more, like,
reminded.
Come out, not be stuck in the house.
Yeah.
When you talk with people on these different things, does that help you also in, like, as you're creating your vision of what it should look like?
Well, you just asked one of the, like, really hidden questions. Yeah, you guys, it's been very inspiring. And it's when I get home to edit and I listen to what you say really super careful. I'm listening to you now, but that's when that process happens. And it's like amazing. And then I'm adding it all up. So if you said the same thing as 6 other people, that gets like 7 stars. And I really focus on what that means. So, you know, I've always been involved in environmental projects my whole life. This is definitely the next level. When I've asked you what you love about nature, it's not a common thing. So we love our cars, we love our family, we love food, we love all these things. And we say we love nature, but there's no discussion. It's like the car, oh, I love the shape, I love the engine, I love the lens, I love what this thing can do. You know, but like really getting deeper into it. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful out there. That's working. Yeah, your lens is a nice lens. You got that distance is great. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the moon too on top of this whole day.
You got the bonus.
And just like the dusk part, like, you know, is great. The slow change.
Yeah, it's just Could be warmer.
Could be a little warmer, yeah.
Yeah, good thing it's not freezing.
Yeah. I'm wondering where I'm going to find my people when it gets really cold.
How long do you have?
I want to do it through the whole winter because it's like a thing, you know, it's nature, and I want to show people out in cold. So I'm actually going to go the opposite route. I'm going to go into the cold, like into the high peaks of the Adirondacks where people are on the snow.
Okay.
And then there's ice fishing somewhere near Buffalo, which I'm going to go talk to them. And there's a place where people skate on canals, supposedly north enough it freezes. Like in the Adirondacks, it was 20 degrees like 2 months ago. What's great about snowshoeing and that, like you can go in to a place that's got no tracks.
Yeah.
And set virgin snow up and just sit there with the sun. And no, you don't get stuck. No, you don't get stuck. On the pack.
Trail, on the hard powder, because no one, it's like, wow, no one would know you're back here.
People do die out there. Yeah, you take an air horn with you is always a good idea. Yeah, I have a little air horn in this pack, just in case I go down somewhere, Yeah, a little air horn is a nice little defense, and you have a much better shot at someone getting you sooner than later. Because describing where you are in the wilderness is like, oh yeah, I'm near the tree, near the rock, near the near the leaf. You're thinking about getting what do they call them? Trekking poles. So when I start going off trails in the winter, I'm gonna want that. And this packet's a little heavy. Got batteries in here for this thing. It's a good thing to have. So the Jones Beach fishing piers that go out into the bay. And the sunset from there is a nice angle.
Okay.
And you get the bridge that goes back to the mainland, you get the city in the backdrop. So you get cityscape, waterscape. That's a great spot. People feel 10. It's great talking to you, man. I appreciate the share.
Yeah, I like people who are doing creative things. I think it helps to talk to more people. And I like
this is a unifying thing.
Talk to people, get their thoughts,
yeah.
See what people have in common. Package it in a way that helps really get the commonalities of what people are thinking.
Yep.
And then for the inspiration, it's funny, I had this guy, we're doing some work in my basement.
Yeah.
And we didn't start out to do this work, right? We hear.
Uh-oh. A new sound is usually not good.
Right. And I was like, it was a squirrel.
Okay.
Got in. Because we had a squirrel from that damn big tree. Because we're
right, it's an easy access.
So it's 40 feet high. So I go down there, look around.
I like your squirrel imitation.
And then I see something look at me. And I was like, that's not a squirrel.
It's not a squirrel. What was it?
It's a rat.
A big rat? Yeah.
They were. And then I look closer.
I feel bad for the rats too, but what are you going to do, man?
So I was like, oh man, so my wife was freaking out. The house is old. But what happened was we didn't really have someone, like a creative person, kind of plan it out for us.
Just to take a look at it, yeah. Maybe you can.
Think creative, think alternative. How can it work?
Yeah.
And,
that's very big. That's a big fundamental shift in your thinking. I come in contact with it all the time because, landscape architects don't design wilderness gardens. They design 90 degrees here, 45 degrees there, a square here, a square there, a rectangle, and that's what they do. So I had to interview for my first garden, like 10 of them. And I said, just get me a guy right out of school that just is not entrenched in how he has to do it. And that's how we design the garden you'll see if you come. Yeah, it's hard because, they have a lot invested in their style of doing things, and they're comfortable they could do it, less risk, and they feel like if it goes wrong, who's going to take the hit?
Right.
Me, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. And
so I get it.
They tell you, I know, no, you don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'd rather someone being like, hey, I never did that before, I don't know, let me...
Right. It's got to be a teamwork thing between whoever wants the creative approach is collaborating as well as they can with a willing partner, and then having a couple of eyes watching it along the way. And then you're going to have a good chance of succeeding. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can just search it. Like unique, organic, open. You put in those keywords. I love search so much. We all do, right? It's an amazing time to be alive. It really is. I mean, things have always been bad for certain people all the time from day one, right? A little bit better for others. But here's the bottom line with this project, right? I don't care what you have. If you're not really in touch with nature, you don't have a rich life. I'm sorry. You can't have one because this is the magic. So if you have a nice house and you're okay with the bills and you're coming out here, you got both worlds. But if you have to spend too much time managing the third house or whatever castle setup you got, you miss the paradise. Palace isn't paradise. And you got to make a choice. And looking out your back window of a smaller home, you got more paradise. Pulling a camera around is work, man.
It is. But sometimes people don't appreciate
Oh, no, it's work. It's artwork. Like artwork, people that understand artwork, those are the people that actually worked with art. You know, like we said before, the workflow in what you're doing, having it with you, making sure it's safe, being conscious of the gear, taking care of the gear. What am I talking about? That's all work.
And then just even composing shots, trying to, right, because I don't like doing everybody standing there, because I like to try to capture some people, you know, interacting and everything.
Fly on the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's when you get their muscles and their faces relaxed.
People, different things. And that's the ones they appreciate more, because
yeah.
see you take that, everyone standing together like normal.
It's like the improv. You're doing like the improv of the moment, and that's what's valuable.
Way to look at it.
It's what we're doing right now. It's like a dance, right? So you're seeing your subjects do what they're doing, and you're over here, and there's kind of like this make-believe like wall that you want to kind of have, like they don't see you behind the, or in the blind in nature. Jamaica Bay has blinds where you could sit in a blind.
So I'll get all type of birds.
And that's how you get all type of birds. But that is a good thing to think about when you're doing what you're doing, because you're always kind of think you're in a blind, and that kind of makes you relax too. That they can't see me, just make believe they don't see you. And that, you know what, people aren't caring about you. They're doing their thing.
Right. Well, I'm gonna check that out. I appreciate.
All right, man.
I appreciate you.
Peace. I'll elbow you or whatever you want to do.
You give me the
Thank you, brother. Be well.